you to back up. I'ma need you to back up.
Is you was loose change, take his boo thing out the PF chains and take Kim K get a steak or something. Better tell mankind Undertaker, come. How you? Said I'm just fine in the right place at the wrong time. Let me slow down, switch the time and quit hiding.
I'm in the 7, I'm gonna act up. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey y'all, I'm your host Ernie Johnson. I have with me two of my dearest friends. Shaquille O'Neal.
Hello, brother.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Ken Smith.
Oh.
Pleasure to see
I
you
didn't know.
again,
I
sir.
thought you got to bring two guys out. I didn't know it was us.
No, you're my dear friends.
Thank you, Ernie.
Tonight, it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Detroit Pistons at Little Caesars Arena. Well, for Detroit, a win tonight would bring them to 3-0 on the young season. What a start that would be for them. They've looked awfully good in those first two wins. And tonight, we get to see one of the faces of the NBA, Blake Griffin. He's battled a number of injuries, but Kenny, he's still one of the league's better power forwards.
He gives you a lot of things, Ernie, and I really believe if he didn't get injured early on, he would have been higher in the MVP voting last year. Terrific passer, tries to improve his range every season, now shooting threes.
Kenny, what are you talking about? Everybody gets injured. Let's just talk about how he adds a physical presence. You know, it's too bad him and Chris Paul could never reach the finals together.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that.
Me either.
You don't want to argue.
That does it for us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Knock you out.
Mama said.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
We are live from the home of the Pistons, Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. For the Detroit Pistons, they come in off a good outing against the Bulls in Chicago. A 3-point win in that one. Always nice to come out on top in a close game.
I tell you what, how efficient they were at scoring the basketball, especially for an away game, that was impressive.
Well, I think the key was the determination and grit and toughness they played with. You've got to be focused to do that, and they were.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Guys, Joel Embiid is listed at 7 feet, but at player introductions, they say 7'2" center, Joel Embiid. Now, Brett Brown says when you stand next to him, you understand the difference between 7 feet and 7'2". He's a big man, Kevin.
He is tremendous size and skill to match, TA. Thanks. And for teams not enjoying a quick start to the season, Clark, how long until they start to push the panic button and making some big moves?
You know, Kevin, I don't think you ever can push the panic button. I think you have to have a sense of what direction you're going, be realistic about who you are and what you have. And that's where good leadership comes in, not just with the team itself, from the coaches to the players, but in your front office too. I mean, you've got to have some flexibility to adjust to the length of the season and challenges of it, and yet still stay on course with your overall plan.
So Philadelphia will get the first possession. A look at the 76ers starting group. Embiid is out there with Horford. Then there's Harris. Then it's Josh Richardson. And it's Simmons in at the point guard. 2 points, that one goes.
You know, one thing you got to love about Embiid is how unselfish he is. I mean, he's pretty good at spotting open teammates.
Rose kicks to Griffin. They grab their own miss, and it's Drummond with the jam.
And great effort on the boards, and what a mean that was, Kev. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pumpkin.
Just 5 on the clock. And here's Simmons for 3. He doesn't hit that one. Now the Pistons take it the other way. And Griffin, here we go. And Ben Simmons picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
We've played just over a minute here in the first. Rose, and it's blocked by Simmons.
Boy, you cannot forget about the long reach and wingspan of Simmons. I mean, he uses it exceptionally well on defense to come away with block shots.
Now here's Griffin, following the missed shot by Tobias Harris. And there's the call on Joel Embiid. That is his first foul of the game. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Passes it to Snell. Now here's Griffin. 11 points for him in that last game against Chicago.
And if you look at his free throw numbers, you can see what kind of pressure he put on the defense. He was in attack mode all night long.
Now Simmons, following the three-point attempt by Blake Griffin. Harris finds Simmons. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Horford, no luck. The Pistons have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started.
And Blake Griffin said early in his career he used to rely on his athleticism to get by. He said the problem was every season he'd be worn out by February. So diversifying his offensive game has helped him to kind of withstand the rigors of a long NBA season.
And misses it off the right side of the rim.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
Kept alive. Simmons against Griffin. 6 on the shot clock. To end the cold streak. No good that time. Some solid defense from Rose. And Greg, you look at a lot of the volume dunkers over the years. Their bodies often wear down. You think of Amari Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, even Dwight Howard.
Yeah, I think Griffin could see the writing on the wall. He used to get over 200 dunks in a season. Now, less than half that number. But the trade-off, hopefully, will be longevity and an increased skill set.
Now here is Harris, following the miss by Griffin. They now take the lead.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of blanks there. Can't hit a thing. Has to be deflating.
Reggie Jackson's checked in for Rose. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Korkmaz is checked in. And there's the pass to Snell. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Drummond in the post. Embiid's there. Tries again. Outside for Jackson. Out to the wing. Clock at 6. Kennard, the pass to Drummond. And at last, they get one to fall.
Boy, I like the activity of Drummond on the glass. I mean, he's so big and active. Excellent timing and hands, always pounding and grinding for offensive rebounds.
Here's Korkmaz. 11 points for him in that last game against Orlando. No good from Simmons.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
And for Detroit, a lot of changes, Greg, in their front office this past offseason.
A new GM and Dwayne Casey brought in to coach. Could see a drastic shift in style and approach for the Pistons moving forward.
Jackson with the bounce pass. Here's Griffin. There we go. Now in the scoring column with that make, he is 1 for 4.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
Here's Korkmaz. He's still scoreless so far in this one. The 76ers need to get off a shot. Fades. And that one hits back iron.
That's a good shot. Even though it couldn't find the bottom of the bucket, I like the shot quality.
Feeds it to Drummond. A miss that time. Would have put him up.
Loved how they guarded that layup. Didn't make it easy, which I think is why he missed it.
Korkmaz. And it's Griffin with the rebound. Griffin's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Outside Jackson. 29 seconds left in the first quarter. Over Simmons. Jackson, that's good. Jackson's got his first points of the game.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Yeah, I like the quick release, Greg. He does a nice job getting it up quickly, especially when he's facing a bigger defender.
Now here's Simmons. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Orlando.
And what opened things up for him was his passing. He was making so many plays that the D had to play off it.
Here's Embiid. Good D by Drummond. And a closely contested grit and grind first quarter comes to a close. The Pistons on top, leading by just 2. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. Al Horford was born in the Dominican Republic, and he talked about why he gravitated towards basketball instead of baseball.
Coming from a place where, baseball is what's driven to us every time. I mean, I started playing baseball. I didn't play basketball. I started playing baseball, and, just watching my dad play basketball, I just fell in love with the game. But people were still telling me, they're like, nobody makes it out of here usually out of basketball. I mean, your dad was a very rare case, and I just believed in it.
Yep, wanted to follow in his father's footsteps.
And what a career. College championships at Florida, an all-star in the NBA. I think he made the right choice.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
I think they played great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
Exactly. I mean, they've made their presence felt on this end. Excellent job contesting shots so far.
So to begin the second quarter for the Philadelphia 76ers, T.J. McConnell is out there with Dwight Bikes. Then it's Ennis. Then there's Monroe. And it's Korkmaz at the 3. Here's Jackson after the made shot from Greg Monroe. Near the three-point line, it's Morris. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Clark, a favorite topic of yours. Great rebounders, glass eaters as you call them. Who's the best at creating those important second chance opportunities for his team?
Well, a couple of guys stand out for me in that regard, Kevin. DeAndre Jordan is terrific. Enes Kanter, probably, he might be the best offensive rebounder in the league, Enes Kanter. I mean, he goes and gets it in his area, out of his area, through guys, over them. Man, he's a terrific offensive rebounder. And I'd throw Anthony Davis in there, too. I think he does a great job on the defensive glass and gets his share of offensive boards as well.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. With the amount of characters and personalities on this Sixers team, Clark, you can't help but notice the attitude they play with.
Yeah, they play with edge. They play with brashness. Some would say arrogance, but all of the championship teams have some element of that, and that's where they're looking to go. On occasion, if their emotions get out of whack, it could get them in trouble, but I think they'll learn as they grow to tone that down and use it in a positive way. Textbook shooting from the stripe. Great form, soft release. Mark it up.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Brett Brown coached the Sixers team through some really lean years. Now, the promise started to show last season, but he said, I don't feel close to the notion that we've arrived. I'm hardened, just doing my job and moving forward. Kevin?
And continuing the process, D.A., thanks. Now, McConnell, following the three-point attempt by Derrick Rose. From 12 feet out, nice jump shot, good. Richardson's got the game tied up here for the 76ers. And so it's Rose who brings the ball up for the Pistons. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. And that will be the middle game of this three-game homestand. Morris dishes to Jackson. Outside Rose. A three from Morris. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Morris has got 5 points now this quarter.
And after that ragged first quarter, they're getting some momentum, some confidence. Nice flow.
Yeah, and you know, the game of basketball, as you well know, Greg and guys, is a game of runs. So their offense is starting to move in a positive direction now. Nice upswing here.
And giving up some height, he just finds a way to carve out a little separation.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't back down from anybody, Greg. Effective at getting the room he wants and then gets his shot off in time.
And it's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. Here's Rose. Turned in an outstanding game against Chicago. Just 5 to shoot. Morris, no good. The 76ers trail. And Josh Richardson at the University of Tennessee was a pre-med student, plans on becoming a surgeon. But when the NBA became a possibility, he said he had to switch to an easier major.
And instead of spending 4 hours a day studying, he put that time into the gym. The terrific defender in college, was the two-time All-SEC defensive player. And with the newfound focus on basketball, he has blossomed as a scorer.
Here's Rose. Philadelphia able to drain the three. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession.
And taking a look at some of the stats here for Monroe. Last season's performance for him. Put up about 10 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. And you can't downplay the importance of good size off the bench.
Space invader, a big guy who simply holds his ground and makes opponents work around him. That's good stuff.
Morris with the bucket.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
Yeah, and I like it. I love seeing that. It's a lot of fun when that happens. These teams are going at each other from the outside.
Now, here is Monroe. 8 points his last outing. Pass to McConnell. Over Jackson. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. McConnell's got his first bucket of the night.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
And there's the call on James Ennis. That is his first foul of the game. For the Pistons, Blake Griffin comes in for Thon Maker. And Tony Snell subbed in for ABC. And the 76ers also making a change. Embiid's checked in. 1:56 left in the first half of basketball. Morris, the kick out to Rose. 6 to shoot, the 17-footer, and the jumper is good. And the Pistons lead by 1. Guys back and forth this first half.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Here's Bikes. He's got 7. That's in, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Detroit's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Inside, Howard down after the assist, let him into the lane.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points.
Hey, guys, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but those could be an important 2 points considering how close this game is.
Here's Bikes, following the bucket by the Pistons. Shoots from 12. The second chance effort, and it's laid in by Monroe. Monroe's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Yeah, and the determination by Greg Monroe. I mean, never gives up on the glass, which in turn earns him second chance opportunities near the basket.
Now here's Jackson. He's coming off a 19-point game against Chicago. Rebound by the 76ers. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Pistons team.
And while they swept the season series against them last year, making it pretty clear how much separation exists between the two teams.
Yeah, Greg, I mean, one is a playoff team. The other, question mark, ... not so much. But things change, and you're only as good as your last win, so we'll see how they handle things tonight.
That will count, and the last second attempt doesn't fall. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Derek, how's it feel to be back on the floor again?
It feels good, man, especially playing with my teammates. We have new teammates. We're just trying to come out here and just play hard and compete.
Good to see you back out here, Derek. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime, so we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to have you back. You're watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. This right here is Kenny the Jet Smith. This right here is Shaquille O'Neal. Me, I'm just Ernie. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. Some good moments from both teams, but as the first period wrapped up, they trailed by 2. They look like a more focused team in the second quarter, and what was an early deficit for them has turned into a 3-point lead at the break. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, there was a big spark from the bench in the first half. Sometimes you're hoping for your reserves to come in and just hold court, but they didn't do that. They actually got better.
Check. What'd you think about the Pistons?
Well, you want to try to hold your opponent under 50% shooting. That has not happened. Defensively, they're allowing way too many good looks. They need to do a better job of shutting down the lane, as well as closing out on shooters.
And that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
Goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Go to Kevin Harlan.
Welcome back, everyone. The lights of Motown reflecting brightly off the Detroit River. And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Pistons trail by 3. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the floor for Detroit, the athletic front pair is Griffin and Drummond. Rose is out there with Kennard, and it's Snell in at the 3 slot. And Harris wide open. He shoots at 3 off the mark.
You know, when you watch Ben Simmons, he has marvelous talent and all-around ability, but sometimes you can easily focus on what he can't do. He's not a great shooter, so teams do back off of him, but still, this guy is an impact player because he sees the floor, he passes it great, he's a terrific rebounder, and he's got a nice motor. And I like the timing, Kevin, that Drummond has on these alley-oops. That's not as easy as he makes it look. He knows precisely when to leave the ground to receive the pass and finish it off.
Now, here's Richardson. And Harris gets it to go on the assist by Richardson. Harris has got 7 points in the game. And for Simmons, missing his rookie year due to the injury, but he showed he was worth the wait.
No doubt. And you just don't see players with his skills and his body type come around that often, Kevin. I mean, he started quickly out of the gates and took over the Rookie of the Year award race almost immediately.
Just 3 to shoot. Rose kicks to Kennard. Bucket is good. Kennard's got his first 2 points of the night.
And Rose must continue to focus on his facilitating. When he does that, this is a dangerous team.
Simmons finds Richardson. Here's Embiid. Wants to get it to Simmons and does. And the layup's good off the glass. Simmons got the lead up to 4 now for the 76ers.
And that solid play in the paint continues here, guys.
Pass to Griffin. Over Simmons. And there's another one for the Pistons.
Their second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
Passes it to Richardson. Back to Simmons. Banked in off the glass. Simmons got 4 points now in the quarter.
And I like watching Simmons go to work down low. I mean, with his length and strength, there aren't many guys that can keep up with him down there.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the foul against Philadelphia. The Pistons shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
Two shots.
First one falls for him. Lots of physical play, Clark, during your time in the NBA. That's been toned down to a degree. Do you miss it being a bigger part of the game now?
You know what? I think it's still a very physical game. The rules have changed. The way the game is officiated has certainly changed. Some of the tough fouls that you saw in decades past don't exist as much. But I still think the game is extremely physical. So I'm glad to see us move in the direction of toning that down a bit. There's enough physicality in the game.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. Didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you. Here's Rose after Ben Simmons' bucket. And that one's good. Drummond.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Horford, no luck. And so it's Rose who brings the ball up for the Pistons. A 2-point game. Kennard's shot is off.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That's what I call an everything but. Good execution, just didn't knock it down. But you're right, they're happy with that shot.
Now here's Rose. He's covered by McConnell. Rose passes to Drummond. From outside, off the mark. Philadelphia leading by 4. And Simmons kicks to McConnell. Back to Simmons. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
Boy, I like how fast, how quickly he went up with the shot, realizing that his man had no chance.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Ben Simmons, such a force when catching the ball, moving at the rim. But you know, Clark, he can get there on his own just as well.
Yeah, he's got a great knack for being able to get where he wants to with the ball. His size and strength and agility certainly help him. And he understands angles. This guy is just a jump shot away from being virtually unguardable, in my opinion.
A different look here for Detroit. Akers checked in for Andre Drummond. Morris comes in for Blake Griffin. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Derrick Rose. Now here's Jackson. We've got 1:48 left to play in the third. And he drops it in from the low post.
Oh, perfect timing there to knock down the teardrop.
The 76ers leading by 4. McConnell with it. Here's Simmons. Makes that one his 6th of the night, shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Outside Jackson to the middle. And there's Morris. That's good on the assist by Jackson. Morris has got 10 points in the game.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded-out game.
McConnell finds Simmons to the wing on the left. Here's Horford. That one wide left.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Did a good job guarding the mid-range, extended out nicely, and definitely bothered the shot.
And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
Before the NBA, it was his internet highlight reels that gave Thon Maker notoriety. His fluidity for a 7-footer captured the imagination. Yet he's still figuring out how to get it done at the NBA level.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
That free throw, no good.
The skill set package that Maker has is intriguing. A long, lanky, big guy who can shoot it and rebound. I think he just needs to focus on being more consistent.
Monroe's checked in for Philadelphia. And he sinks the second. There's 39 seconds left in the third. Right side, Simmons. It's deflected. Here's ABC. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. The shot's good.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Here's Korkmaz. Now the pass to Simmons. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
Great awareness of the clock to end the quarter.
That's just really good clock management there. I mean, that's how you close a quarter.
And so it's Ben Simmons making highlights for the Philadelphia 76ers. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. The 76ers leading by 3. On the court for Philadelphia to start the fourth. Monroe is out there with Harris. Then it's Josh Richardson. Then there's Ben Simmons. And it's Embiid in at the pivot, manning the middle. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Embiid's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the 76ers. And here are the Pistons now. Now Jackson. Pass to Kennard. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And, you know, Brett Brown has seen it all in Philly. The good and bad times. Was the head coach for their lowest points as this team rebuilt. Now he's reaping the fruits of his labor and persistence as he leads a star-studded Sixers team that has great potential.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. And Clark, you have to applaud management for the way they stuck with Brown as the team was turning things around.
Yeah, I love it, Kevin. I really do. I mean, being able to see the long-term picture and stay with a coach who you believe is the right one for your group, very impressive work by the Sixers. You know, injuries and a lack of talent were the issue early, not the coaching. The players love Brown, and rarely are coaches afforded as much time and patience as this franchise gave Brown. I applaud him.
Listen, they're still right in this thing. Missing that free throw, though, keeps this a 2-possession deficit.
He kicks it to Morris. Pass to Drummond. 1 minute now into this fourth quarter. No problems knocking that one down. 7 points for Reggie Jackson.
And they have picked it up offensively here in the second half. Ball movement, getting high percentage shots, you can definitely see a difference.
Now here's Simmons. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Morris, no good.
Excellent concentration from the deep. Intimidated the shooter, bothered him, distracted him, and made him think twice as he went in for that layup.
Here's Richardson. And the foul called on Markieff Morris. That is his first foul of the game. A different look here for Detroit. Griffin's checked in for Morris. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Kennard. Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. And Simmons kicks to Embiid. Philadelphia moving the ball around. 4 on the clock. Here's Richardson. Great touch on the 16-footer. Richardson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And guys on defense gasping for air at this point.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, what can they do? I mean, nobody can miss a shot. I mean, these guys are bringing it on offense right now.
Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well. That sends Reggie Jackson to the free throw line. That one on Harris. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
They've been penetrating with a certain amount of ease, guys, just as much in this half as the first.
They've also done a lot of good work in the post tonight. That's certainly been an advantage as well.
That's good from Jackson. And the 76ers last season making it to the conference semifinals, Clark, before they were dispatched by the Boston Celtics.
And I guarantee you, Kevin, if you told any fan that would be their fate at the start of the season, they'd have banked that and went with it. Team had a great learning experience as they got past Miami and then lost to the Celtics. I think this group will be highly motivated to take the next step going forward.
Here's Snell. Tobias Harris picking up that last basket. Griffin passes to Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
What a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
Now here's Richardson. Lets it go from 11, and he didn't get quite enough under that one.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Here's Rose. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And unfortunately, injuries will always be the concern with Derrick Rose. Still loves the game of basketball, knows he is limited compared to what he once was. Amazing with all he's fought through, he can still perform at such a high level.
2 shots.
Makes it, and the next one could tie it up. And with Rose, as you said, his love of the game is still there, and he still wants to play.
I mean, many players would have just walked away from having their body betray him. But Rose said last season he loves what he gets to do and still would be a water boy if he had to. You have to admire Rose's attitude and approach in that regard.
So he makes one of two as the second one misses.
And for Derrick Rose, the question will be how much of his MVP level of play from 2011 can he recover? You'd love to see him return to that form.
Now here's Rose to take the lead, and it's sent back by Horford, and they're able to recover. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Harris finds McConnell. That one goes. Count it. And the 76ers lead by 3.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And he could tell his guys were dragging a little bit, calling timeout to kind of let them catch their breath.
Cabs pass me by, I called Delancey. My team moving with lights, cameras, and action. Thoughts to ideas, designs to manufacturing. And still Travolta, I'm still Samuel Jackson. Blasted, live on stage is where it happens. Step to the zone, spotlight on, the sights on, all lives on. Turn the tables and the mics on. Fans clapping, rocking, they scream out loud. This time I give it back and applaud the crowd. On stage. That's the name.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Ben Simmons.
And the way he's made his mark with his work inside, he's just been a slasher tonight. Always moving, getting to the basket at will, and just seemingly taking advantage of a D that was reluctant to get in his way.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear Dwayne Casey talk to his team. He told the guys, I know you can do it. Make every possession count and watch how things go our way. Evan?
Thank you, David. Now here's Griffin. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Lays it in off the pretty alley-oop.
Oh, and just a soft touch on both ends of that pretty alley-oop.
I got to say, when he threw the pass, I didn't know where it was going.
Neither did the defense.
Embiid. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Embiid's got 4 points this quarter.
Joel Embiid on top of things there, folks, recognizing a big possession and commanding the ball.
Lets it go from 11, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
And he has the chops for this, raising the intensity when it matters most.
Yeah, he's really calm in these situations. Simply takes his time in tight spots. You got to be patient, and he is playing to his strengths.
And Philadelphia calls time here. They lead by 1. 1:37 left to play here in the fourth. Derrick Rose is checked in for the Pistons. 1:37 left in the fourth quarter. Richardson, good.
Confident and composed on the three-point shot at a critical juncture.
Rose kicks to Griffin. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And Blake Griffin is just an incredible athlete, explosive and great balance and mobility, powerful. A big guy who can flat out throw it down, and he also can pass it too.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
So the first one drops, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. Griffin hits them both.
What a clutch performance. He loves being in these situations, just relishes the opportunity. A lot of guys say they do, but you can see it in his face. He truly does.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
Boy, I tell you, it's pretty obvious. Embiid takes pride in and enjoys tricking his defenders and getting them to jump on the pump fake.
Gets the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
You know, you got to love watching Embiid play the game because he has such great passion and really a drive to be great.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a 4-point ball game.
2-possession game now, guys. Some very important free throws there.
Rose kicks to Griffin. 1:07 left in the fourth quarter. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That one on Horford.
Two shots.
So the first one drops, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. And he is unable to get the second one.
If he hits all of those, they're feeling a lot more comfortable. But now, still a 1-possession game. And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Detroit's gone 3 of 7 tonight from 3-point territory. Griffin inside, guarded by Horford. Passes it to Kennard. And stolen by Richardson. And now Philadelphia on the break. Here's Harris. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. And now a 7-point Philadelphia lead. And so it's Rose bringing it up for Detroit. Now the feed to Drummond. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him.
And, you know, Drummond has no problem playing through contact. He excels at using that strong body of his to fight through contact and finish.
One shot, gentlemen.
Free throw good, Drummond.
Yeah, I don't know if any big man has the combination of strength, speed, and hops that Drummond has, not to mention his length, an unreal physical specimen.
At the line, 76ers, Josh Richardson. At the line for two.
Gets the first, and that puts them up by 5. Second one is good, hitting both at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
The free throws go down and the lead goes up.
Time working against them here.
It sure is, and with such short time, it'll be really hard for them to catch up.
And so they foul intentionally.
At the line, 76ers, TJ. At the line for two.
And no good as the first free throw, missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. He's able to hit the second one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're trailing by 7. 26 seconds left in the fourth. .26 seconds left in the game. Rose passes to Snell. Drummond trying to get himself free. Back to Rose. Here's Kennard. The Pistons rebound. Fires for 3. Nails the tray. Here's Richardson. And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And you know what, Greg? Who knows? A few misses at the stripe, and they're right there within range. You know, late game free throws are a lot different than early game free throws in terms of making them.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5. Second one is good, hitting both at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Clutch free throws there. That should ensure they're going home with the W.
Kennard's shot is off. So the 76ers win it. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.